So I'm just going to say what everyone is thinking. I don't care that you're losing your food stamps. I don't care that you're losing your free medical. I don't care that you are losing your free housing. Now y'all are just getting a taste of what every other person is going through. I should not have to pay to feed you and your 9 children. I'll be the selfish one. My kid comes first in my eyes, not you. I'm going to give you a prime example of how broken this freaking system is. My son was in a very, very severe motorcycle accident involving a tow truck. We were in the hospital for almost a month. As a single mom with no support, and before any of you come at me about the single mom thing, no, I didn't expect myself to be a single mother, but you know what? Shit happens. Being a single mother with no freaking support, that is a month, actually over a month of lost wages over something that was completely out of our control. I was told by case management in the hospital, hey, the only way that your city is going to offer you any type of assistance is if you have an eviction notice. The only way that you're going to get help paying your bills because of these lost wages, because of an emergent situation, is if you have a shutoff notice. This is how broken the system is. I work over 40 hours a week. And you're telling me that I'm paying into a system that I cannot benefit from? But you want to come on the internet and bitch and complain about losing your free benefits that you've probably been on for 10 plus years.
Hi, guys. Welcome back to Kingdom Political, where we do all kinds of reactions. Today, I'm doing a reaction on We Don't Care About Your Food Stamps, an Anton Daniels video. Make sure you like and subscribe to his channel as well. I'm going to put the link in the description. And also make sure you like and subscribe to Kingdom Political, where we do reactions from a spiritual perspective. So I want to talk about what this young lady is talking about here. Um, Saying that she doesn't care about people that need food stamps and stuff like that. I'm a bit of uh, a pushover in that I am a Christian. I do love people, so I don't want to see people without the necessities. I, for one, was just like her. I was a single parent raising 2 children, and actually, when I was pregnant with my second, I got into hard times. I became pregnant, and I want to say the first 3 months of my pregnancy, I had a tumultuous pregnancy. I couldn't work. Now, for some context, I've been working since I was 16 years of age. Okay, so I was working and going to college at the same time, and I remember when I couldn't work. I was working for a Japanese company down in the city. I was getting good money. I just transferred to this position, so I wasn't entitled to benefits yet. So I'm like, oh my gosh, I'm going to have to, I can't get anything, workers' comp or anything. I'm going to have to go to the social services office and try to, and get something. So I'm thinking, I'm under the impression I'm a US citizen. I've worked all of my life, from the age of 16 on to now until I was 21 at that point. And I go to social services and I'm like, hey, I can't work anymore. I can't pay my rent. I have these 2 children, blah, blah, blah. And they told me the same thing that they told this young lady. We need an eviction notice. We need something from your land. Well, I don't have that yet. I'm trying to be proactive at this point so that we don't wind up in the street. I don't want my kids in the street. So I'm not going to wait until I get an eviction notice. Okay. At this point, I got 2 pennies to rub together. Okay. So I can't get on a line, a food stamp line or a food pantry line. They didn't have those available for me during that time in the Bronx. You had to be on social services to get something like that. And then even when you went, you got something like rice, maybe a potato, and some government cheese. What am I going to do with that? So I feel the same way. I worked for a system and worked in a system where I've been paying tax for all of these years. But yet, when I run into trouble, I can't get anything, but someone else can come across the border, get vouchers for rent and everything. I couldn't even get Section 8. I couldn't get help with anything. And usually it's a situation where you make maybe $15 more than the poverty line. If you had only made $15 less, We could have given you some food stamps. We could have given you $50 a month. Okay? So I agree with her in this instance. Make sure you like, subscribe, and share. But let's get back to the video.
We are sick of it. We're done. We're sick of it. We don't feel sorry for you at all. Because now you're just getting a small taste of what all of us have been going through for years. So here's an idea. Instead of continuing to pop out children that you cannot afford, get a condom and a job. Because the average American is sick of supporting you.
That is a fact. That is a fact if I have ever heard it before in my life. When I had my daughter, I made up in my mind that she would never ever suffer. She would never, her feet would never hit the ground, and I would never be in a position. I would work two jobs. I would work 100 hours a week if I needed to. When I had my daughter in the middle of the 2008 housing crisis at the very beginning in February. So, or February. But my point is that real people take responsibility for the decisions that they make. I seen a woman talking about how she had six kids and who's going to feed her kids if food stamps are cut off. And these people are acting so entitled. So I have to take a bigger cut out of my money, which most of it should go to me. We should only be paying for infrastructure and public safety, and then small, very small government for regulation. And then obviously we know our military. But the point is that all of our money, most of it, a lot of it is going to social services, and that is not right. It's not right at all, and people are taking advantage of it. And now they
And here's the thing also about this, a lot of the people that are on public assistance are on there generationally. I remember a family that was a part of our church, as a matter of fact, where the daughter was on public assistance, the mother was on public assistance, and the grandmother was on public assistance. So you have no intention on bettering yourself and getting off of it. This was a way of life for them. You know, some of them even thought, I remember one young lady saying, well, she was going to get with this. I remember some years ago, she was going to get with this drug dealer. She was going to get pregnant, and she was going to go to social services, get her food stamps, you know, maybe apply for Section 8, pretend that she's homeless. Some of them were willing to stay in a homeless shelter. I'd only have to stay for like 1 month. Are you kidding me? And these are the people that you want me to provide services for? Oh no. But let's continue with the video.
and it is so disrespectful to everybody that is working every day. Go out there and bust their ass and try to figure out how to make a way or how to pay for their kids' tuition or how to make sure that everybody got food on the table and how to make sure that they got their retirement. Man, it's people that can't even pour into their own retirement because so much money is coming out of their paycheck that they gonna have to be dependent on the federal government in order to make sure that they okay long term. And that's not right. Been right. And the nerve of people that then come on the internet and say that they are going to steal from stores and turn their stores, because obviously, you know, they'll run these stores out of business, even big box stores. They will leave your neighborhood and your community in a heartbeat. I've seen Walmart closing fresh stores and all of that all over the country. Kroger, you know, they low margin, Wegmans, whatever you want to call it, they are willing to pack up and leave if they see a rash of theft. And then other people are telling them that, yo, you should just go ahead and make sure that you turn a blind eye if you work in these places for people that decide that they want to steal. And then you gonna be out of a job, and then y'all gonna be calling y'all neighborhood a food desert because you don't have any grocery stores, and now you got to shop at the corner store. You gonna say that your neighborhood is deprived. But we are going to have to start being adults. We're going to have to start being responsible, and the responsible thing to do, from my perspective, is first take care of yourself before you start bringing other people into this world and then requiring the federal government, aka the taxpayers, to take care of you and ensure that you're okay. It's not
And I just wanted to talk briefly about people turning on security personnel turning a blind eye to people stealing in the supermarkets. Okay. The reason that a lot of them do at this point is because you have some cities where they don't prosecute people. The government does not prosecute petty offenses. So if someone is 13 and under and they steal, like there's a threshold amount that they can steal, they steal up to $300, then, it doesn't make sense to even call the cops on them because they're not going to be charged with anything. They're going to be let go, in their own recognizance or whatever the situation is. They're not charged. So it doesn't benefit the store at all to try to prosecute, to use their resources to prosecute crimes like that when they're not going to be prosecuted because the laws that are in place don't prosecute for petty crime. So it's a lose-lose for the store, for the chain of stores. So that's why a lot of them wind up closing in these areas.
Not my responsibility. That's not my kid. And I don't owe you anything. And I should not be required to take care of grown adults that choose to open up their legs and then remove themselves from the presence of the Father. Y'all better get married. Y'all better work together. Y'all better make sure that y'all got y'all lives together. And I don't feel sorry for any of these people that are on government assistance that have more than ample time to get themselves together, and they decide that they want to wait till November and say, "Oh my God, I ain't got my food stamps no more." As a matter of fact, I am so taken aback. I didn't even realize the amount of people that we are supporting with our tax dollars, black, white, and all in the middle and indifferent. I didn't even realize how many people had been on government assistance for years, and I mean years. I know people that was on government assistance back when I was younger, and they had Section 8 housing for years. They would not move because they were basically taking advantage of a system, and they didn't even want to make themselves better. And then they'll sit there and hit you with a sob story and say, "Well, guess what? Most people work, and most people are still having sex, and they still popping out children." And when Trump said, "Okay, well, you got to work at least 20 hours a week, do at least volunteer work or go to school or something," people was acting appalled. "Oh, I can't believe it." No, I can't believe that he's actually making us do something meaningful and asking us to go to work so that we can support ourselves. Lord forbid, heaven knows that is the worst thing that ever happened to people, is to be self-sufficient and to take care of ourselves. But no, definitely, definitely people are pissed off. People are angry. They think that they deserve. I've seen people say no matter how many kids that you have, no kid deserves to go without food in their belly and health care coverage. And I said, "What? So who gonna pay for that? Because somebody gotta pay for it. Is it supposed to come out of my pocket more? Because I know you ain't got a job, you a fairy and you living on the streets. Is that supposed to come out of my pocketbook? Are y'all counting other people's money?" Then they want to say that billionaires or millionaires are supposed to be contributing even more to ensure that you're okay. You got Mom Donnie running out there in New York saying that they're gonna have government-run sponsored uh, uh, stores, grocery stores. Crazy, 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 out of his mind. But again, this is the time that we live in. This is the space that we exist in, and you can't make this up. And so, yes, she is absolutely correct. She said the quiet part out loud. I know everybody gonna act like they appalled. Don't worry about it. You've been kicked out of worse places. You've been kicked out of worse places for less. And so don't act appalled. It's a lot of us. I would say the majority of people that hustle, grind, work every day, drive DoorDash, get second jobs, do gig work, lower their lifestyle, work their ass off. Some people don't even have kids. Some people are single, and then they got to pay the most taxes because the federal government says that you got to pay more taxes than anybody else if you decide that you want to be single. That's not right.
Mm.
So because you are responsible and you are more of a responsible adult, you now have to be held accountable for the decisions of the people that came before and after you because they didn't want to be responsible with how they handled their business.
So, guys, let me know what y'all think about this. Is Anton Daniels right? How about this young lady that said that she didn't care? What do you think about that? I don't believe that children should have to suffer for the um, irresponsibility of their parents. But then again, I believe that the taxpayer shouldn't have to suffer either for the irresponsibility of the parents. Okay, but let me know what you think. And make sure you like, subscribe, and share. Okay, this is Renee from Kingdom Politico. Have a blessed day.